I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. See you. Have a good day. Darcy Schindler, school teacher from Drummond. He's up here on jury duty. Daddy just come in and visit. Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
So Blanche, what are you doing there?
I chickened out.
Me too.
I had to make the decision on Sunday because I had to cancel my room. And so it was the storm watch and in that area, so I just decided that it wasn't that important to go, so that's why I'm here.
Yeah, okay.
Good morning, Chuck.
Morning.
I tried calling you back.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Yeah. I was right there at 6 Mile.
Oh. I didn't hear anything.
I think you were ignoring me.
For me?
Yeah,
All right, well, we'll go ahead into the board minutes.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes for February 14th, 2023.
I second it.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 First thing is a yearly fuel tax certification, roadway mileage. I think when's this gotta be due?
I don't know, I didn't read it, we just got it. March 17th. Let me put it on.
We'll put this on the agenda for next week, because then we can open it up and we'll look at the maps. Is that all right with you guys?
Yeah,
The next is a public hearing notice from the town of Phillipsburg on the water and sewer regulations. The next one's from Matthew Olberg. It's on Montana Asphalt Conference. Somebody wants to go to this one. Here. The next one from FERC, and it's on scam safety OIF follow-up call, Flint Creek project. And that's it for the correspondence, so we'll go right into public comment.
I have one update really quick from Sarah that she let me know this morning. The copy machine from last week that was $5,499. That did not include shipping. So the shipping was an additional $500. She just wanted me to let you guys know.
Okay.
So I told her I would let you know.
That's gonna work.
And then they'll take the other one, right?
Yes.
Costs us that much to get it out.
So would this be considered the first one?
No, that was, we had it on, we talked about last week.
Okay, so
It's just day-to-day business.
She just wanted a letter.
I just needed signatures.
Any public comment?
How the roads in there?
Roads.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, my roads were slick.
It's solid ice all the way from, yeah, it was terrible coming up this morning. We got a lot of rain yesterday, a lot.
It didn't snow. Didn't get any rain that I noticed here. Good thing those rugs are down on the corridor floor, yeah. Almost took a tumble.
Paul won't be in this morning because he's got jury duty.
Oh, okay.
So we might wanna just hold off on that stuff, except for, we'll go into, but his stuff, we can talk about the millings and that stuff when he's here next week.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
And that way we can keep here and we can talk about that truck and stuff. I haven't heard a thing on that. Yeah. Well, we can talk about that Kerry Hatcher.
I think he's gonna come in.
Great.
Mhm.
They got that trailer cleaned up down there. It looks really, really good. He did a good job.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it turned out, yeah, he did awesome work on it. Took him like 2.5 days.
Huh.
All worth the money, huh?
Yeah,
The one time.
that one-time deal.
One time.
What surprised me, that guy don't move another trailer in that.
When it's on the property.
Nobody, if somebody will move in there and.
It's a little baby one.
It's a little one.
They're having twins, and they're walking around, twins all over the place, little babies.
There was one stuck in the fence over here this spring,
Really?
summer. Mhm.
No public comment. Yeah, I got a few minutes anyway.
Oh, I could tell you this. Kayla Sanders from Healthy Granite County Network dropped this off. It's their statistics for the year. So under their grant, their goal is to serve 10% of a county, and they've served over 14% of ours. So she wanted to share that with you guys.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful
I thought
sign.
you were bringing something in here. Sign.
So anyway, 10%, sorry.
Oh, so their goal under their grant, for a nonprofit like theirs is to try to serve 10% of a county, and they have served over 14% of our county in the last year.
Hmm.
Yeah. She brought up their statistics last week.
So yeah,
Quiet day in here, do you have a quiet day?
Yeah.
do what?
Do you have a quiet day in here today?
Yes.
You're gonna need it, cause it's gonna be a crazy mess up there.
Bustling day.
Good luck finding a parking spot. Good thing we all got here early.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Would you like to see? It's the HDR Engineering and Department of Ag for the pesticide dealer. I'll bring a check just a minute.
How's the JP's office coming?
So I know the people from the state were here going through stuff the week before last, yeah. And she had asked me about furniture moving, like what's happening to the furniture that's in there now, and I told her I believe that they're just swapping places, and she asked me that on Friday via email, so I will touch base with her this week, tomorrow when she's here.
Is there more painting to do?
I will have to check with Janine. Janine was supposed to paint in there, so.
But the wiring and stuff is,
I don't know if it's done. I know they were here. I don't know if there was more work they needed to do or not,
They were, yeah, that one day.
but I know they
last
were
year,
here.
They were here and they were down there. She met
Yeah.
them.
I think she will really enjoy her new office.
I guess what you want to be on. It'll be hectic getting everything moved around.
I know I gotta get the vault cleaned out down there, all of our FERC stuff. I'm just gonna stick it in the corner over here. And if we have an extra filing cabinet in one of the offices, I'll snag it.
We have 50 alternates for a trial.
I don't know if that, I don't know.
Or don't they have to be there?
Yeah.
Is that even?
That costs a ton.
Is it a major trial or?
I don't know nothing about it. We'll jump right into, we'll go ahead, being no public comment, we'll go into the weekly report. Paul won't be here due to the fact he's on jury duty. I haven't heard nothing on that truck. Or did he get any video sent to us or nothing?
I didn't receive anything.
I had a guy, they opened up a county road. Down in the Bear Gulch, he went in with the loader and plow, but he had all his insurance and everything.
He's opening up a road?
Yeah, it's this Andy Weaver did. He
Oh,
called,
okay.
got permission, and he has insurance and everything. It's just an old long maintained road. There's people are having. They asked him to do it, hired him to do it, so.
Oh, okay.
It's a county road. Yeah. Not maintained.
Yeah, 10 Mile Road it's called. It's Bear Gulch, 10 Mile. Goes all the way up, you can come out over in the Beaver Tail.
So there was no reason for a permit or anything?
No. There's some people up there. Trying to get in, and then Scott's had to go up there and it's gas. Hey, somebody, wait a minute. Oh.
My daughter.
Oh, I thought so. I couldn't even look into that light. You might as well come up, Terry. We're a little early, but Paul won't be here. He's in jury duty.
Okay,
So what's up?
well, I guess I was told to show up today. You guys wanted to chat with me, so I,
Come on up. Chuck's on Zoom.
okay.
Yes,
We'll be up here. Okay, Terry Hatcher, 33 Stewart Lake Road. And I visited with you guys probably about a month and a half ago. And I kind of thought we'd had a plan, but I guess you guys are revisiting maybe what we've discussed.
So we're not, we didn't want you to plow. You weren't gonna plow, then you plow.
Okay, let's talk about that
Yeah.
then. So, let me explain to you how that came about, because if you recall, one of the last comments that I made. I asked you guys, I said, what happens if we get a big snowstorm on a Saturday? And you guys said, we work on Saturdays and we'll be up there. And that road did not get plowed until Wednesday that week, and there was 6 inches of snow. And so if that's the priority, that's not gonna work for me. If I,
go ahead.
Anyway, it hadn't been plowed for 5 days. You guys have, I know you guys have been, and I acknowledge. I know you're busy, I know you have a lot of roads. And I called you that Saturday, I left a message on Billy's phone. And I said, hey, and I called the road department per your instruction. You guys said, call the road department if there's nobody back there and plowed. And so we had 6 inches of snow up there. It was one of the bigger snows we've had this year. And nobody called me back, which is fine, I get it. Okay, but I'm not that person that's gonna sit back and just wait for things to happen. Especially when there's some safety issues of getting in and out of our property. And I did call you guys, left a message here. I did call the road department, left a message there and didn't hear from anyone. Okay, Billy called me back. Billy was kind enough to call me back about a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, I guess, and said that you guys wanted to visit with me again. So the county has been up there to plow 2 times that I'm aware of. One time they plowed with the truck. And it took them from 7th Street to the turnoff. It took them approximately 2.5 minutes to do that plowing and sanding. That's it, because I timed them. They came up there with a road grader. It took them longer to turn the road grader around because it's really tight and tough in there. And they were able to plow, they plowed again. So I don't know what your guys' plans are, but in fact, here's a question I have for you today. The question that I have for you is, what are the I know you have limited resources. I know you have a lot of roads. But what are your priorities as far as what does get plowed? And how do you determine what is a priority? For instance, I'm gonna ask you a question. I know the road that goes from the edge of town up to the Algonquin, the broad over there. I think there's 2 houses up there, and I know you guys plow that road consistently. Sanded. I drove up the other day up to Tower. You guys plowed it right after it snowed, by the way. I went up and checked, and so I don't know. I don't know what the options are, but if you can plow, great. If you can't plow, just tell me, and then let's come up with a solution. And I'll keep doing it. Remember, I never asked you to do it anyway.
Well, you did. You keep bringing up this safety thing.
No.
Don't get upset with me.
I'm not
I'm not gonna sit here and argue. I'll tell you, I wasn't for it anyway.
Yeah.
Cause and you to sit here and say that what's your priorities for the school bus, that's a big priority.
Sure. I would
And
have.
you're not a priority. And
Scott, again, I didn't ask you to go plow up there to begin with, did I?
but you were just saying just now that they didn't show up, they didn't show up, they didn't show up.
They didn't, and so I didn't plow it.
So
So don't, you're mad at me because you said I plowed it.
I'm just saying that we had to make sure that you had insurance. I'm not mad. I just said, you're the one come in and said you couldn't afford the insurance.
It's $5,000
Yeah.
per year.
I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah.
And then Blaine talked about getting a cheaper insurance or not having as much, so it would cost you as much.
Blaine
But
mentioned
Blaine's
that to
in
me
New
too.
York too, so.
Yeah, Blaine mentioned that to me too. Yeah, I know this, Scott, for the last 4 years, I've never asked you guys to do anything. I never asked you to do anything at all. And I've plowed it, and then I was told that in order for me to continue to plow it, I had to get the road maintenance agreement insurance.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you about though, is that being equally dispersed through everybody in this? That is plowing on county roads? I don't think so, because I know some people that are plowing county roads and that's not being requested of them, Scott.
Okay, well, we need to find that out and make sure, if Paul was here, we could ask him which roads you're talking. If they don't have insurance, but
Right.
like I was just talking about that guy who just plowed up the road. Yeah,
Was that the Tower Road? The guy came in last week and said someone was plowing it.
it's over here, I don't understand, we never did, no, it was our guys plowing, it was county guys. that
Oh,
plowed it.
okay,
It wasn't,
okay.
no, that's county, it wasn't a blue truck, it wasn't one of ours.
Yeah.
So,
But you called on Saturday, right?
I did, I called on a Saturday, because remember I asked Chuck. I asked Chuck that day that we had that meeting, I said, guys, what happens if it snows? And Chuck said, we do work on Saturday, just call I think Chuck or. Lunch, maybe you said it, but somebody said, call the road department. So I did. Okay, I didn't hear back from any, but that's fine, because I know that they were busy. Okay, and so by the 5 days after the road had 5 days after it snowed, they finally were up there. That's fine. If that's what it's gonna be. Then I can assure you that a lot of people aren't gonna be able to wait for 5 days for the road to be plowed.
So the only thing is, on Saturday, you called the shop on Saturday,
Yep,
didn't necessarily mean there was someone in there.
But that's what I was
Because they don't
told to
normally
do, though,
put-
so matter of that, that's what we want
And
me
that
to
would
do.
have been where you would have called Paul.
Yeah, maybe you want me to call Paul directly.
Yeah.
I don't know
think
what the-
That
think
would be
that's
the best.
Cause nobody's there and nobody's here, we don't. take it.
I understand that, but I just wanted to give you a heads up, because I know you told me not to plow. You did.
Why, we told you to make sure you have insurance, we're just worried if something happens,
Sure.
cause you're the one that keeps bringing up the emergency stuff, and then if something does happen, you don't have insurance.
Sure.
You're being
Well-
notified that you have to have insurance.
You know, and I did pose the question, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I know I did pose the question, I said, you know, there is a municipal water tank up there. And I said, I would think that that might be high on the priority list for the county or the city. I don't know if it is.
We're gonna have to go to the city on that, cause I mean, they're the ones, we don't have to do with that water.
I understand, but it's obviously
Right.
it's in the county, still in the county area.
I guess you know, we get calls and stuff, and people are, you know, just want more and more, but everybody's gonna have to follow the rules and have the insurance, so we're not liable if something, if you hit somebody. I mean, it's saving your ass too.
Scott, again, so here's the conundrum that we're in, okay? Because that's why I posed the question, what is your priority? Because I know the Black Pine decision, we're flying, I don't know how much, you know, quarter mile, half a mile. And there's one house that's up there. I know over here in Tower, there's 5 houses, I think 5 people that live up there at Tower. Right now, we have probably about 5, 6 people, say, homes up our road. Okay, we have children, we have kids that are going to school too. Okay. Plus, I don't know if this ever figures into your decision making, but if we want to do an assessment, I'll guarantee you. The amount of taxes that the people that are up my road are paying far exceed the people that are up Tower by a long shot. By a long shot. There's a number of $1 million homes up our road, a number of them. So, again, I'm not here complaining that the county's not, didn't plow my road, but I feel like I'm gonna catch 22.
But yeah, you mentioned $1 million homes up there. And I guess that would be something where you would maybe do the research and see if, because the road fund. That's where you're paying taxes on, and do they assess the road tax, or is it a set amount?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Large.
Yeah.
Well, I think the main thing that comes down is you just gotta figure out this insurance deal. That is the only thing I'm having a problem with, is if you get hit. Or just say that, you know. It's about yours too, not just us.
No,
That's all
I agree, so, and I appreciate you looking out for me, thank you.
The decision that we made, and Chuck is on Zoom, is that we decided that we would put it on the list for plowing. But, and Scott didn't want it, but Chuck and I did.
Sure.
So therefore, in that situation, we decided, you don't need to do that maintenance thing because we're gonna put it on.
Right,
the-
you're gonna take care of it.
That just, she's one.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, sorry. So we did make that decision, right, Chuck?
Yeah, and you know, I'd like to say that, you know, the road crew isn't used to going up there, you know, and, you know, maybe as time goes on, they'll get used to going up there as soon as it snows or whenever they can, you know, and it's not gonna be perfect, you know, I mean, there's a lot of times, especially in past years out here in East Fork, they never got out here for a long time, and it was a school bus route, so, you know, I mean, we just gotta all work together and not get all upset over one snow that they don't get and try to work on it.
Chuck, thank you for mentioning that, and frankly, that Saturday, I figured because this was really about the first time, I thought maybe they did kind of forget us. So that was one of my reasons for also calling, letting you guys know, and calling the road department, hey, we're still up here. But it didn't happen until Wednesday. Okay, and I think that's being more than patient. So I did plow it, okay? Because they hadn't been up there for 5 days, and it was a 6 and 7 inches of snow. So
And it's not a bus route,
it's not a bus route,
okay, but there are school kids up there.
yes.
I just think it comes down to this, all there is that insurance thing, if he has to probably get safety or get out, that's fine, but. It's just, he couldn't afford what we were asking, and if we can get it cheaper or whatever, then I think that's a big fix.
Blaine even said to me when I went, because I first had a visit with Blaine, and Blaine's the one that suggested I come and visit with you guys, frankly. But
See,
Blaine
we
said,
didn't.
pardon?
We haven't heard nothing from that.
Okay, but Blaine was the one that I should have to come and talk with you guys, because he said maybe they can give you a waiver or lower the amount of the insurance. That wasn't discussed that day that we were here,
No,
okay? And I would be,
I didn't know we could do that.
I don't know if you can either.
That's the big thing with Blaine, if Blaine was here, we can ask, but he's in this.
Sure, this hearing.
I don't know if you saw the email I forwarded you from Blaine last week. Cause I knew he wouldn't be here for this today because of the trial. He says you could consider reducing the liability insurance requirement, but still require at least $100,000 in coverage or something reasonable.
And that's what he told you, too. You have.
He didn't give me a specific dollar amount, but he said that reducing the amount of the insurance requirement is something that possibly the commissioners would or can consider. Yes,
So right now, there's no agreement.
I signed.
We
it,
do,
by the
we
way,
do have an
But I
agreement.
also,
We decided that because we were gonna put it on our plow list, that he didn't need the agreement.
No, we had to have.
You had
because
one
we
prior
did-
to that, so you still have one on file prior to that you had
Oh,
already
so-
agreed and
We had
signed.
to have something just in case this did happen, that he plowed, so that it all on, we have paper trail. Is what we're talking about too, but I think if I can, I wish Blaine, we could talk to him and if we lower the insurance, that's all my beef is, I just don't want something to happen.
maybe we, I don't know, I'm just gonna ask you this question. Is it possible that we do both? Maybe I could get a reduced amount. But yet the county, when the opportunity presents itself, because I know you're busy, still does their thing periodically as well.
It's on their list now, their regular list now, and what we're looking into is a smaller truck. Get up there, so
First time I went up there, Blanche, they had a small truck and it would, they did a beautiful job and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, that's the thing, you know, if they can get there, they're going to, why not? Trying to make, I think the whole big deal was we heard you plowed and then everybody, you know, and I got it, I said, well, we gotta make sure he has insurance. That's all, cause we're having people are hitting stuff, and sure, we're not,
Well, I've been plowing for 4 years.
I know.
And Scott, I know not everybody's. I plowed from, up there, about 5 miles over on the upper Georgetown Lake Road. And Maria Stopler lived,
Oh,
I built
okay.
that house, okay, and my wife used to have to go to work. So I'd get up and plow from there all the way up to the highway,
Oh, I'm
where I
not
did that for
saying,
about 7 years.
I'm not saying you don't
Yeah.
know that.
the
I'm
one,
just
the
saying
one
we
thing,
just-
sorry, the one thing is that there was miscommunication, I'm thinking. When you called on Saturday and nobody got your message, so I think
What a glitch, oh.
you need to call Paul directly.
So if you guys give me that telephone number, I'll call Paul direct.
5590640.
And then do make sure that he knows that there are school kids up there, so. It's not a bus route, but
Okay,
And
you
then
can
what?
mention Scott one more time.
559
559
0640.
0640.
And we'll tell him too.
Okay, so will you guys then, if you guys would consider lowering the insurance requirement, that would be great. Please let me know.
If we can, I would, I mean, just so something's covered.
So, and then-
something happens with.
that's setting precedent again.
That's a
Because
problem.
I'm asking
We
you-
open this stuff all up, now everybody's coming. That's
Okay.
why I'm frustrated.
Sure, I get it, Scott.
It's just, we don't have them.
You don't have the resources.
No.
I know that. I get it.
It's sad, cause you know, people build up in places and then next thing you know, we get it back there and then they expect us, and I'm not just saying you.
Because I didn't know.
It's just,
Yeah.
that's, I have a hard time hearing it.
But remember, if
And it shouldn't base it on who, if you have a chicken coop or a house, I will not, you know. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what your priorities are.
My favorite's worth 5,000.
Yeah, I don't know what your priorities are.
So there's, the priorities are been set for years, just the school buses and the.
Here's a question for you. I think this is a challenge for you though, and you already know this better than I. That if all of a sudden there's a development that came in, and there's now 15 homes out there. And those people are building expensive homes. And they're gonna come to you and say, hey, what services should we get? Now, let's say there's another road where those people, there's 3 homes, and they're not expensive homes, kind of like what you're talking about. But you've already established a precedence of plowing that road. Do you tell the people that you've been plowing for the last 15 years, we're no longer gonna be able to plow because we have limited manpower, we have limited equipment. And now we have 15 houses over here. I don't know how that works. Those are tough decisions.
It's gonna be tough, and like some of these, like you said, they come in, you build 15 homes. Hopefully they have a home owner, or, you know, and then them guys are gonna have to do their own. I mean, a lot of this is gonna be kicked back on the people that moved there.
Sure.
That's my,
Yeah, so, okay, I've taken up enough of your time. Is there anything else for you today?
make sure to get hold of Paul, and
I will.
we'll talk to Blaine some more about the insurance, but like I said, that's short.
I have no hard feelings, okay, just.
I don't either, I guess I'm worried about just if something happens, the county can't be, you know.
Yeah.
It's, you know, maybe you need to talk to the city too, it's their town or their tank that happens, maybe that's gonna be.
Have they plowed before going up? to
Never
their
plowed
tank?
there. I think I told you this, so I've even plowed the snow out from in front of their fence so that they can get into their property, because I know during the winter time they do, and they don't have equipment up there, so I keep that open for them.
Yeah, see, and that's, I don't know what their stuff is on that or nothing, that's the thing.
You know, and I think you probably already aware of this, I'm sure you can find this out, but that water tank is on Antonoli's property. The city has an easement from Antonoli, it's not even on city property.
I
So,
I thought they owned it.
no,
All right, well,
Okay.
we'll move on and we'll get a hold of Paul and we'll talk to Blaine some more about that.
my wife's upstairs being part of jury duty as well. Both for the courthouse. Thank you. Bye.
Did you have anything else there, Chuck?
No, it's just everybody has to work together, and like I say, I mean, and like you were saying, leaving a message on the weekend at the shop doesn't work. We found that out a long time ago, so. No, you guys are on the right track here.
And leave one for Billy, I mean, she's not here on the weekend, we're not gonna put somebody just here to answer phones.
No,
You know, he knows he has to get over with Paul anyway, cause he's talked to Paul about the road before, so, I mean,
right,
that's.
right. And you know, they probably just forgot, you know, I mean, it's a new route for them, and, you know, I mean, let's not get all excited about it. That's what I think.
They'll get there when they can, I mean, that's, you know, you guys
Right.
didn't, gonna plow every time it snowed, I mean, there's lots of. We got a lot of wind and drifts and they gotta get this. all
Yeah.
bad. Anyway, any other public comment? Oh, we got a little bit, yeah, so. I think they took the grader up there because it has ice picks on it to break the ice. So I think they had problems trying to push and spin, and that's why. I guess was the only thing I was worried about is, you know, just.
Well, then like the additional truck, I think. We talked about it, and I think that would be a good thing for for their wish.
Well, and even getting it, we only have so many guys. You know,
Yeah.
and if they get everything else done, then they can go jump in that one and get it, you know. Once they get caught up, that's my opinion.
It's a hand waving people going up for.
I thought you were trying to get my kid, that's why I keep looking in, I see you.
This.
It's just. I agree. You have anything else, Chuck, on the road stuff?
Uh. No, so we're gonna wait till next week on the millings and all that stuff in the truck, so.
I think we kinda have to, because Paul's supposed to bring us information. I don't know if we got a video or nothing. I have to talk to Paul, so,
Yeah,
you know. Soon, if, I guess we can ask him once he gets out of jury duty. Maybe an update or something during the week here.
You on break?
Did Jim and Carol have something, or are they just on?
Interesting.
14.28 as of 9:15.
Ooh. What was it early when I gave you?
6-4.
Ooh, so it's updated.
We got a lot, for sure. There was like 3-4 inches of new snow in my shop.
Yeah.
Here, I'll print you one.
Yesterday.
What'd you say it was?
14.28.
It's 14.28 better than 14.61.
6-1.
Oh, 14.
No, you just, no, this was. And then she said,
I'm losing them.
No, it's what they-
Okay, it's a Monday and a Tuesday.
So in last year, at this time, it was 14 or 6428.12.
I got 14.28. Do you guys have?
Yeah, we just reprinted one off, was 14.64 and then now it's 14.28 at this time, we just printed another one off. Well, we'll go ahead and we're a few minutes ahead, but we have nothing. Being involved not here. So Brandon Parrott's dam test report. We're at 6428.32, which is 14.28 below full.
Last
So-
year we were 16.56
Gotcha.
for a difference of 2.28. But last year is catching up with this year now.
What were we putting out last year at this time? I don't know.
Six.
Last year we were 16.56 below.
Yeah.
So we're better this year than last year. And we were putting out 6 last year and we're putting out 10 now. It's raising.
Yeah. And plus we got more, we're getting moisture now. We got dumped on hard down lower valley. And then the rain and. We're supposed to get more of that winter storm, supposed to get a couple of inches today. So what do you think of?
You know what I'm thinking.
What are you thinking?
It's coming up, I just, I definitely wanna leave it at 10, I'm just thinking going up a little bit, but I don't know. Paul sent something in for Billy.
Oh, yeah.
That really, please. He's not here, Chuck.
He said Todd's report last week was based on 65% of normal. We are over 100% of normal now. I recommend going to 20 CFS, at least 15. We can always turn it down. He may try to call in as well.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that 15? Well, I know what your thoughts are, but what if a guy went to 15? We're ahead of last year.
2 inches.
Remember that drought map I showed you? I'm sure that's not changed. You know, I don't know where he gets all his figures, so I don't know.
You mean Paul?
Yeah. See, we still got to make up that deficit. You see what I'm saying, Scott? I mean, the ground is dry, and you know that.
Yeah.
We are in a severe drought. That's what the ground is saying. Just because, in my opinion, if we were gonna break the deficit and get back to normal, we'd have to have 150% more, at least. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I understand. I totally understand what you're saying. I just. Yeah.
So you know where I'm coming from, so I'm out of it.
So you're still against the 10, Chuck?
I'm not going to 20. No, I'm not.
I wouldn't go to
I'm not 100% against 10. I'm leery of 10. I'm not 100% against it. But whatever.
Well, let's leave it at 10 for this week again and see what, I was thinking about trying to go up a little more. Let's see what we get for this moisture that we're supposed. I totally understand what you're saying about the ground. I'm not arguing with it over that.
You know, we can't, once it doesn't, if it doesn't fill, we can't fill it. I mean, you know, if we knew it was gonna fill, we could be letting out more. I mean, like in April or whatever, say it was really going up, we're getting a lot of precip, whatever. Yeah, we can go to 30, we can go to 35,
Yeah,
but we can't. If it doesn't fill, then we're gonna really start at a deficit for the 30 CFS that we have to do. That's where I'm coming from.
But when do we have to go to 30? May 15th?
I think I should wait and see at least through this month and see what February does, we'll see what March is gonna.
Is it May or March 15th? May. Sorry.
See what this is gonna do, leave it at 10 for this, that month, or whatever.
I'll make a motion to leave it at 10. And readdress it next Tuesday.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm gonna say aye this time, but under duress. So aye,
Hey, you are or you aren't? Make up your mind.
I am.
Alrighty, yeah, we'll just keep a close eye on it. I know the ground's dry. I'm not arguing with you at all on that.
Hi there.
Being that we're done with that, Chad's here. Come on up, Chad.
Sure. I just wanted to let you, and I'm sure you know, he did,
That's a message.
oh, okay.
Awesome.
Mr. Drosville did take care of that. He took care of it quickly and did a nice job
Yeah.
and cleaned it up well, so.
Looks really good.
Yeah, I think they have some kind of automated system. They'd sent an invoice to Sarah.
Yes.
I'm gonna actually just send an email to Blaine, to Sarah, and then I'll copy you guys and just say that the job is done and to the specifications that Blaine had put out there, so.
Yeah, no, he did a really good job. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep, they do a nice job and they, yeah, it's pretty thorough and did it pretty quickly. Finally, it just took a while to get to it. But
That's all I just kept getting called when they come. I'm like, tired of that, but it's done.
Yeah.
One time.
exactly.
Done.
Yep, we got one. This
Oh.
is special thing.
Todd Blythe just jumped on.
Oh. But yeah.
Anyway, yep,
thanks.
I just wanted to let you guys know, like I said, I'll follow up with an email too.
Yeah, I left you a message on awesome job.
Oh, okay, good,
Thanks.
good, deal. Yeah, I got way too many things to follow.
Alright,
Thank
thanks.
you guys, see ya.
Go ahead. Yeah, Todd, go ahead. Good morning, Todd.
Morning, can everybody hear me?
Yep. How are you?
Great, how's everybody doing?
Good. We just got done, we left it at 10 going out. We're thinking about going up a little bit, but we're trying to make sure, you know, what's your idea?
So you're thinking of turning it up a bit?
It's already set to stay at 10, but I brought it up about maybe jumping up, Paul wanted to go up to 20, but 15 would work, and I'm not gonna go to 20. Or, this is just me talking, it's not the other.
Yeah, I mean,
We got some,
we're into February, so we got a little better idea of what's sitting in the mountains in terms of moisture, the whole Flint Creek area is pretty good. Everything's above 90%. A lot of things are above 100% for this time of year. And then everybody probably saw my last update. If they didn't, inflows are kind of averaging for the month in the 15 to 20 range, 18 CFS. It likely could support 15 as an outflow. it's at 10 and it's gone up a tenth of a foot in February so far.
Yeah, that's, I think we're just gonna leave it as is, well, we made the motion, leave it as is, and then, see what this February does, and then in a couple of weeks, or no, we're gonna have to probably start going up, so, cause we're gonna start gaining.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with coming into March. Releasing a little more, cause man, unless something just totally out of this world happened, there's gonna be some moisture coming out of the mountains this spring.
Yeah, we got pretty good yesterday, the day before down lower, I mean. It is finally going into the ground, we had rain, a lot of rain yesterday,
Oh, really? Wow.
so, yeah, it was 42 degrees and raining and pretty good.
Jeez.
So Todd, why does the drought map have us in a severe drought right here?
Is that the which drought map are you talking about? The state one?
The Montana drought map, and it has this area, the upper Clark Fork, as a severe drought, also the Bitterroot. And because the storms just haven't been hitting here, they didn't hit here all summer. So are you looking at that?
Yeah, I just pulled it up. You're talking about the drought monitor. Yeah, D2. Well, I wonder if they have a looking for a report that maybe they put out. I'd be curious to know why as well.
Well, I know why it's a severe drought, because we didn't get any rain all summer. And we went off another drought. We barely filled that dam last year. And then we had to start letting out 30 CFS. Okay.
Yeah.
And that was off a drought before that. So then we continued into the drought after the spring rains. We got at my place, I got 8 to 10 inches. And that is what filled that lake, in my opinion. It's also what filled my ponds. And when the snow melted last year, after that drought, and we had more snow at my place last year than I have right now, my ponds didn't fill. They didn't even come up. They came up like 2 inches. And because the ground was soaking up all that moisture, it just didn't run. And another thing, in a normal year, and I used to call them glaciers. I mean, you look out in the pasture, you'll see a big bunch of ice forming, and it flows down, and it gets bigger and bigger all winter long. And that's because the ground is charged up with water. And I haven't seen one of those for, I think, 4 years now. And so my opinion is that ground does not have that moisture it used to have. And when that lake would fill every time.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. I mean, we've been going on probably close to a decade of soil moisture deficit across most of the state. And yeah, well, I was looking a little bit more at their categorization here of current last week in 3 months, and that's probably definitely what's represented in the drought monitor, is the fact that it's just kind of a continuous soil moisture deficit. And that certainly decreased, the amount of runoff that came out of just the area, just talking about the area above the lake. If you look at, snow this year versus last year, the snowpack in November and December last year set the all-time low. It was the lowest recorded in 40 years at Peterson Meadows. And this year, it's just been hovering above normal for most of the year. So I
Yeah,
guess
what about-
that's where I'm drawing my information from in terms of,
So what about the moisture content? Cause I've been seeing that moisture content's been running, 80 to 90%.
this is moisture content. This is the snow water equivalent. So that's the amount of water that is in the snowpack, not just depth. But like I said, these are stations that are Peterson Meadows and Warm Springs that are up at higher elevation. They're not exactly reflective, probably what you see in your pasture, nor maybe even right down around the lake. This is 1,000 feet higher.
No, I realize that.
But you know, that snow water equivalent, it's above average right now. It has been for most of the season. Precipitation amounts have been also above average, but it doesn't. That's why I try to, none of us has a real crystal ball, and we don't have the widespread monitoring of soil moisture to go along with this data to really be able to say, this percentage of that snow is going to come down into the lake. And you don't really know that until it starts running off and you can see what exactly is coming out. At this point, we go on the information that these only stations that we have were showing. But your points were totally right. We've seen it across the state for the last 3 years at least. What we call the runoff efficiency, that's the percentage of the precip that falls on an area that ends up in rivers and streams, has been lower, quite a bit lower.
I appreciate all that. I think we're all on the same page, we gotta feel it, but it's just, here, maybe in March, we can start moving it up. Any other comments?
Not for me.
Well, thank you, thanks Todd, appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Keep in touch, bud.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Todd.
All right, so we'll move on to the USDS joint funding agreement, discussion decision. I waited over there. The original? Oh, you got it.
So refresh me. This is something we do every year. And it's what is it, a study? And it costs us 8 and them 4. Yeah.
So this is for Flint Creek above the lake?
This is,
Yep, Flint Creek near Southern Cross. I feel like this isn't Flint Creek Southern Cross, isn't that right below the lake?
No, that's just the inflow of the lake. So maybe they ought to, before we pay this, they ought to fix their gauge so we can get an accurate reading and then have it on the computer so I can find it on what's coming in from that creek. See what I'm saying? Go on the website and see if you can figure out how much is coming in.
So
I can't.
Flint Creek Southern Cross, I think we can only pull that in the is it in the summer? And when I first started.
cause don't it get it iced over that it can't?
You can only, I was told that one you can only pull during a certain time of the year.
Yeah, in the winter time, like right now, you can't, cause it's all covered.
Yeah,
So that's why they have the date from April to October, because after October, it's too cold.
Yeah, then it freezes up.
So how's everybody coming up with these inflows in?
I don't,
So Todd, you want to answer that question? He's still on.
here, let me send him an unmute request.
Yeah, yeah, so Southern Cross is about for the lake. I calculate inflows the only way that we can do it right now, which is, using the lake level and the outflows. If you think about like your checking book, it's a net amount, so it includes everything that leaves, but also is coming in. In the winter, we don't really have much going out. We know that the lake leaks. It seeps a little bit into a fault system under the ground. But because the ice is on, there's no evaporation essentially. So you take, I have a curve that was built when the dam was built, and it basically relates that lake level, the elevation, to volume in acre feet. So I can look at over the past month how much was let out at the gauge below the outflow, and then how much that volume in the lake changed, and do a simple calculation with those pieces of information to get the net inflows. And that's what we're doing right now to get inflows.
So why are we paying USGS for these gauges when we can't tell what's coming in on them?
That I can't really answer, but you can see if you go to their website. So what they do, and this is the case across the state because I think it was already mentioned, things ice up, and it's just really hard to get accurate numbers when you have ice on and ice off or situations like that. But if you go on their website and look at it in the table view, they'll give you numbers. They just come with a caveat, basically, that, you know, they put this little seasonal flag next to it saying, you know, it could be wrong. So as of this morning, they're giving 10.6 CFF.
That's my point. They have the caveats, so we're paying for something I could guess at.
So according to the contract check, they do this between April and October, so they're not guessing between April and October. And I would make a motion that we sign this joint funding agreement for 2023 contract.
There's something to do with it too, that we have to have something with FERC.
You're
That's, I
required.
was just thinking that this is a big requirement from FERC.
It is. You have to have the gauges.
So do I have a second?
Yeah, I know we have to do it. I mean, can I question
No, I never said that.
the accuracy of this thing? Even in the summer? No, I'll second it.
No, I don't have a problem with your questioning. I'm just saying, I just making a comment that I got thinking that FERC too on this. And we were just asked Todd to give us a little explanation on it. He did that.
I'm just saying, I think they can do a better job.
Okay, well, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Motion been carried past. Thanks again, Todd. Okay, the next one is review of updated Granite County Courthouse proposal sheet set from Slate Architects.
So,
Are they calling in?
nope, so he's not calling it or anything. These are just after you guys walked through last time, the updated
Oh, yeah.
floor plans. This version presses the men's restroom back into full use and still converts the women's to include 2 toilet stalls. Because we cut out so much storage, another storage room was created. You can certainly make this what you'd like, but we are starting there. Note that we do not have a direct connection to the judge's toilet from the chambers. There's just not another way to make that happen. And he wants to know if that's permissible. And they've been in contact with elevator companies and are working with engineers right now to put together a scope of work. So he just wants, yes.
May I read that?
So these are just for you guys to review and look at after the last walkthrough, and I'll send him any notes, and then hopefully we can get a task order for the next.
It all looks like what we talked about. Really.
So cutting the storage, that's the storage that where the elevator is coming in, right? Where we're gonna lose.
I think so. Yeah, because we lose all of that in that corridor.
Yeah.
And I think on that, I think there's a lot of, I don't know, because it goes into the, I think maybe when they redo the judge's bathroom, they lose a lot of the storage room on the district court level. Too, right, where they have that, maybe Carol's storage room kind of goes away.
No, it's coming, the storage. The, what they used to call what, the evidence room or something, is
Yeah.
still there, it's coming
Ouch.
out. Right,
But then they make the judge's bathroom there, don't they?
they lose the bathroom.
But then they move the judge's bathroom over where that evidence room is, don't they? Drive backwards. It's on the back half of the men's restroom.
Did you say the judge can or can't access the restroom?
It's not a direct access, he'll have to cross over from his chamber. Across the elevator corridor, it's not all within his chamber any longer. But he still has a private restroom.
I mean, people are gonna have to give to make this work.
Yeah,
He has to walk out.
Oh, yeah, so we. 2 feet. If,
It's just the way it's gonna have to be. I mean, there's no other. Spot or nothing.
so and then Linda's room isn't getting cut. And then, oh, I see that pretty. The storage, and then the bathroom, yeah, it looks good,
I think it does.
yeah.
I like the looks of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can move ahead with it. He's getting us now. He's gonna start getting a hold of people that are scope and stuff. Billy, you say?
Yes, he has been talking to different engineers and elevator companies so they can build out an accurate scope of work.
Sounds good to me. Do we have to do it?
so you need a motion or anything, or what?
Nah, cause we're not really, we gave him the go to start looking and do stuff, so I don't see, it says discussion decision.
I don't know
But
that,
it's not like we're not making, he's doing what we asked him to do.
yeah,
So we're fine.
I don't think you need a motion until you have a task order,
Yeah. once
unless
he
there was
gets it,
anything drastic.
something that's gonna start where we're gonna start paying and doing the other scope, then we'll have to have an motion.
Yeah.
Right now, he's doing what we asked.
Yeah, I think you would only need a motion if you wanted something drastically changed in here.
So this is basically another draft. And we're looking at this and saying. The changes are good,
Yeah,
so. We've had our discussion and there's no decision. Is that correct? Mr. Adler?
Yeah.
Chairman,
Sounds good to me. I like the looks of it, I mean.
Yeah,
some
I think
people-
it looks good.
I mean, we've been trying for years, at least now we're moving ahead, and there's stuff, not gonna keep everything happy.
So the elevator is annihilating his bathroom, but they're giving him a whole brand new one. With the window, even.
You'll be good.
It's gonna have a powder room in it.
So, alrighty, well, that's that. Right, wait a few minutes just in case they call or something.
So off the record. When do you think? Completely different subject that I'll talk to you after session's over. His personal stuff. Is that good?
Yeah, yeah, that works.
You've got to tell what time. I checked. That coat. You take it off as soon as you get in or you roast immediately.
Oh, that's good.
So that
It's a good investment. That wind is
Check how
really
much you
thick.
pay for it.
Yeah, you got a steal.
What a deal. Yeah, I'm gonna run over to the.
Yep.
Oops.
Thanks. I don't have to go. Aren't you fixed the husband you're older than?
Thanks.
You should have a donut.
Pretty quiet upstairs.
It is.
I mean, usually like,
When they start excusing jurors, it'll probably be bustly.
they're not one. Usually they're all banging and crashing.
They often must be taken very seriously. Oh, they're good.
Mhm.
Oops. I forgot where I worked. I was heading into the clerk and recording office. What's your email there?
Oh, thank you.
We go on.
Yeah, take a break.
All right, we're gonna go into the Montana legislative review and comment. Somebody wanna give us an update?
Ooh,
Anybody?
okay, we lost one and won one. 323, well, they're both tabled. And 328 was tabled. But I've seen tabled bills come out, so that just means they're resting, I think.
So I'm gonna make my comment again that I made probably is that reading. Mako's. Comment on the legislative update, it's very entertaining.
They,
I mean,
they are,
she's very gifted in writing,
yeah.
so.
And as far as other bills, I'm so confused on all those bills that I can't remember one from the other. You guys there?
Yeah.
We're listening. I was just reading some stuff here.
Hmm.
Yeah, some of that stuff I don't understand. I have a hard time reading it and trying to figure out what they're trying to do.
Uh-huh.
So you're saying that 328 was tabled, what's the other one that was tabled?
323.
323, that's the one that originated there in our county.
Oh, for the, okay,
That
so
kid,
it was tabled too. And
the 328, it didn't go through.
328, is that the,
328 is tabled.
328 is that the, 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 328
Audio.
Video.
Video. Video, yeah. But like I say, I've seen table of bills all of a sudden appear again, so. But that other one, there's a lot of bills that are similar, and I don't know if that's why it was tabled or not, but there's a whole bunch of bills that basically, I think they do the same thing, but that's just my opinion. But I don't know where they're going either. And like I say, I get so confused watching that stuff. So.
Yeah, so it seems like they kind of get rid of something and they throw something back in with just a different little word or something. It's really the
Yeah.
same. Gotta be.
Yeah.
Alrighty. well,
And then
that-
Elena had that comment, Elena had that comment last week about the wolf bill and why we didn't mention it. And I didn't know anything about it. That's why I didn't mention it.
Well, there's a lot of that stuff that we don't see and, don't know nothing about it. Why would we talk about something, I mean. She must just sit there and every one go through each and every one.
Well, I was carried by my son, so I probably should have known. I didn't. That's all I have.
Okay. Well. Pretty slow day today. I guess I'll make. Motion adjourned.
Sounded good to me. I'll go plow snow.
Alright. Well, have a good
Okay.
day.
Okay, see you guys later.
Guys,
Thanks.
see you check next Tuesday.